It's the Exit 52 podcast, Sunday, October 26th, Sunday night. We are brought to you, as always, by Jimmy's Famous Seafood and by our friends at Black Eyed Susan Spices, who on Saturday, November 15th, will be at Baltimore's hottest event back for its second year. The Black Eyed Susan Spice Company and Peabody Heights Brewery present Nevermore Hot 2025, Baltimore's premier hot sauce festival, an event that is free to attend and offers a full afternoon of spicy entertainment. Come sample products from over 25 spicy vendors from all over the country, including many whose sauces have appeared on the hit YouTube sensation Hot Ones. There will also be spicy food specials, oysters, live music, a festival exclusive hot sauce from the Black Eyed Susan Spice Company, the infamous Spicy Wing Challenge hosted by DEFCON Sauces, and Peabody Heights Brewery is releasing the festival exclusive Fire Extinguisher Pilsner to go along with all their other delicious beers. That is all at Nevermore Hot, Saturday, November 15th from noon to 6 p.m. at Peabody Heights Brewery in Baltimore. Check it out, nevermorehot.com, and check out Black Eyed Susan Spices. Guys, how we doing?
You nailed that, Jake. Wow.
Sure. Very pure.
Get it off the rip. That's one skill I always wanted to develop when I was a young boy was ad reads, and I hope it's coming through for everyone. So how are we doing? Victory Sunday night, victory Monday, however you're consuming this. I'm feeling good.
Oh, way to answer your own question. I love it. Feeling good. Yeah, no, it's nice to be coming off a game where it felt like the team just did what it was supposed to do. They executed. They had a cohesive game plan. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't commit stupid penalties. They were able to maintain drives and keep the ball on their end and dictate the terms for most of the game. First quarter was a little rocky, but a win they obviously very badly needed. There's all kinds of drama at hand this week that we were able to kind of cancel out the noise with a win here. Obviously, we're going to go right back into that here with a short week, but for now, season on the ropes a little bit and looking out at the schedule in front of us, which we always knew was in front of us. There's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Taylor, I was saying it's right in front of us. As a wise man once said, Taylor, you're boots on the ground in Chicago. A little bit of divided loyalty from what I understand, both with you and others. What's your your feeling right now?
Look, we're here in Chicago, and as the Bears marched down the field in the first quarter, there was, you could feel the city coming alive with energy, the Ravens continuing to fall apart, and then all of it was silenced over the final three quarters as the Ravens took control and ultimately won. Tears in the streets here in Chicago about a Bears defeat, but they're still 4-3. They'll be fine. No, I agree with Banks. It was nice to watch them have a game that didn't feel like the sky was falling in some ways. And I just think I have to get out in front of this to start. Good on Tyler Huntley. Good on the guy. Probably should have been doing this the last few weeks. Not really sure why he wasn't. And I think there is some second guessing that is very, very warranted on why Cooper Rush started two of these games. But he played a very professional game of football today and kind of steadied the ship for a Ravens team that looked a little bit more sure of itself as it tries to kind of pick up the pieces from the season and move forward to as B has under his in his subhead their next stop playoffs. So good on that dude. Kind of establishing a nice when he retires and is back in 5 years, the legend of the game, he will get rousing ovations, and it's because of things like this. So good for him. He played a really nice game. Defense did a nice job after the first quarter, and we move forward.
We move forward indeed. And joining us a little bit after kickoff here, Gentle Spen Crenshaw, who is also at the game. Brian was as well. How we doing, Hal?
Doing well. I mean, it was a football game that made sense from the Baltimore Ravens. They played complimentary football. They really, I think, made one mistake the entire day. To me, it was the 2-minute warnings, getting a snap off there was the one thing I kind of accosted them for before the first half. But other than that, I think they had a defined plan. They stuck to it. They played complimentary football. They know their identity. They changed their identity defensively to this jumbo nickel thing that Alohi Gilman has enabled. They put Kyle Hamilton up around the line of scrimmage. That's what he's going to do. He's getting pressure. He's blowing up run plays. He's causing havoc around the line of scrimmage, and they ran the ball a lot. I'm getting old. I keep saying it. They ran the ball 35 times for 177 yards. I'm still sitting here thinking run the ball more at certain points in time, but it was an identity I feel like we saw an identity from them, and we saw the play action shots. Huntley, like you guys just said, was awesome. Got away with one kind of risky throw over the middle, got baited into a rat throw, and hits a defender in the hands there. But other than that, I mean, you can't ask for much more from the guy. And the ability to contain Caleb Williams in the pocket and make him have to be a little uncomfortable and hit him and do it through manufactured pressure that made sense and didn't leave them out to dry, looked good. And this bye week came at the right time for this defense. And it really enabled, I mean, Nate Wiggins, the interception, that's what it was. And when I think of the big moments for the Ravens in Zach Orr's tenure defensively, like, it's our Darius Washington coming up and sticking Russell Wilson. It's Marlon Humphrey's pick 6. It's that Nate Wiggins interception today. And it felt like things were calmed on that side of the ball. Even early, the Bears were a warm knife through butter on the opening possession. They get a little goal line stand. Some things didn't go the Ravens' way. They did jar 2 balls out, special teams and on defense. Marlon Humphrey has a big blow-up play, but the physicality was there on that side of the football, and I think that's the thing that they were lacking. And the Bears have had a pretty strong run game. I think they're averaging 155 yards a game on the ground. Swift's been running well. Kyle Monangai. I mean, they had a couple moments today, as you kind of expect, but the longest run out of the running backs was 15 yards. If you remove one Caleb Williams scramble, it was like 22 carries for 80 yards that they had. So run defenses look good against a Rams and Bears attack that's been really strong. And yeah, I mean, we can talk about the offensive side of the ball and the late DeAndre Hopkins play and all these things, but individual moments of execution stood out to me overall today. Nate Wiggins, DeAndre Hopkins, Keaton Mitchell, Kyle Hamilton, individual plays stood out. And I think these guys have been in position. I think the bye week helped the coaching staff put them in a little bit more of a position to succeed, but plays that haven't been getting made by a backup quarterback or by a receiver or whoever it was were made. And that's what it comes down to. And that's why everyone always hates when, like, we have to execute better. Well, they fucking executed better. That's what they did today. They executed better. Their secondary was tight. They weren't blowing assignments. Their pass rush, they were letting Caleb Williams boot and get outside. The pass rush started to execute better. They started to contain better. They started to play as a unit and play complementary football. So, I just thought it was a total team performance and one that'll have Tyler Huntley never buying a beer in Baltimore again.
Absolutely. I think Huntley is 100% the story for me. Taylor, you kind of hinted at the second guessing that will probably be going on, and rightfully so. Man, what a difference it makes to have a guy that can move around a little bit and kind of execute a little bit of a simulacrum, I guess, of the Lamar Jackson offense. It's not quite the same. They're not really running zone read a ton with him, but he can scramble around a little bit. He actually pushed the ball. We got some air yards in this game out of him. The throw to Bateman coming out of the locker room, I thought, was a really big play that kind of set the tone for the half that, hey, we're not going away here on offense. And it feels a little bit like a continuation of the Rams game, where they were, for the first time in a couple of weeks, able to run the ball really consistently. They weren't popping big plays or anything like that, but the offensive line was getting pushed. Henry was making plays with yards after contact, and it felt like they had kind of unlocked something. But Rush was just so anemic back there. He couldn't push the ball through the air. He was, it was a lot of stuff around the line of scrimmage, which Monken, with all the fire he's taken this week, I'll throw one more barb at him. I think that was maybe, that was not the most watchable offense when he was doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it felt like they came out ready to make a statement in this one that, hey, we're not going away. We're going to get behind Huntley here, and he's going to push the ball, and he's going to maybe have a couple of suspect throws. We mentioned the tip ball that almost turned into an INT. But overall, yeah, it's like if he had started that Texans game, they probably don't win it. But, man, it does make you wonder about that Rams game. But ultimately, you're just happy that he gets in there. And he's the Revenant. He's the bear killer. He's out there. He's laying his bear traps. He's got his bait. He's got a big rifle.
Nobody hear that. Nobody hear that here. Nobody hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Earmuffs, everyone in Chicago. But, yeah, this guy 2-0 against the Chicago Bears. I think that I think he only has 2 wins as a starter, if I'm remembering correctly. I think they're both against the Bears. I think he might have come in relief against the Broncos and won that one.
But, I wish I had his jersey. I'd be wearing it around tomorrow.
What number though? That's the question.
One till lunch, swap the other one till dinner. I'm on a little bit of a limited time here, so I want to get this out. It's malpractice that Cooper Rush started 2 games in a row for the Ravens. I mean, it's absolute malpractice. Like you have a guy in Huntley that at least has been in this position before, And we've seen the Ravens run at least competent offense with either him or RG3 as the backup that can do quote unquote similar things to Lamar. I hate when that gets like Watt said that at some point. They can run, it's like no one runs similar offense to Lamar. It's Lamar. But like the fact that Cooper Rush was the backup and they saw that for one game and ran him back out for another game. Look, you want to do it once and sign him, and Cooper Rush had some okay moments in Dallas, like fine. I mean, that of all the hyperbole that's getting thrown around, that will be my hyperbole thrown. Like, that is crazy that dude started 2 games for the Ravens. I'm glad that Tyler Huntley is now the backup. No disrespect to Cooper Rush, but he just wasn't getting it done. So that is something I would very, 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 very significantly question the coaching staff and front office about is, in a world where you have to maybe deal with a few games a year without Lamar Jackson, that guy was your plan. That was clearly a terrible plan. And it was fleshed out that way in the field. So it was almost like calming. This is going to sound so weird. It was calming to see Huntley out there because I was like, well, at the very least, I kind of know what I'm getting here. The floor is, the ceiling is not super high, but the floor is also not terribly low, as opposed to the Cooper Rush experience where it felt like there was no ceiling and such a death of a floor. So I was good for Tyler Huntley. Just good for him. I mean, he just played very competent football today, and it was a nice sight to see.
Harbaugh mentioned that Huntley, you're good. I just real quickly, Harbaugh mentioned that Huntley, I think, called him during training camp and said, I want another shot. And Harbaugh was like, all right, we're going to get you in here and you can help us win games this year. And yeah, kind of weird that Rush winds up.
He was also out there the whole time in the offseason. He's been
doing the GM's job.
I will say, I think Huntley was unbelievably bad on other teams at times, like remarkably bad.
Makes you think. And Cooper Rush was very
successful as a backup.
Yeah, his resume was
solid.
This is what I had before I pass back to you, Taylor. Rush was in Dallas for a long time before he really started to start games. Huntley was in Baltimore for a long time. I think you go look at the successful backups. It's usually not a guy that's thrown right in real fast, 6 games in. And you're right. It should have been Huntley all along. There should never be anyone that's for the next 5 years, 3 years, whatever, that's not Tyler Huntley, that's Lamar Jackson's backup.
You made the point on Twitter.
That's really well said.
You made the point on Twitter, Spenny, that I liked. He looks like a different player. Like there were some stinkers here in Baltimore too when he had to play extended stretches. He was getting the ball out quick. He was pushing it. He had a little bit more touch. There were a couple. He had the relative missed deep shot to Flowers, who had a step on the guy. It was a tough throw, but Lamar probably makes it. But yeah, he just looked like a competent career backup. I think their thinking was, hey, we've seen what we've seen out of this guy. We don't think it's that great. That's why we went to Josh Johnson. They want to upgrade from Josh Johnson and him. You throw a dart at the wall, and my God, did it not work out with Cooper Rush. That is $8 million or whatever it was on fire. But shit, man, all roads lead back to Snoop.
I think that is perfectly said, Spenny. Like, a guy can just sit in an organization and sort of get used to all the things around him, and so he's way more comfortable coming on the field with that team when his number is called. Whereas it's so hard to be the career backup that bounces. Like what Joe Flacco is doing right now, where he's going from team to team and at times looking semi-competent, that's very hard to do. So yeah, I think that's really well said. And Cooper Rush got out of his comfort zone and got exposed. And we saw Tyler Huntley over the last few years, or especially last year, get out of his comfort zone and get exposed.
It makes you think, and this is what I was going to say before, like how important that drive or two we saw against the Rams was. I mean, it may be some of the most important football we played all year is just the ability to kind of get a look at Tyler Huntley and put him in position to win this game, which is an interesting just thing to think about. To Spenny's point, like complementary football, I think when people think of that phrase, they think of offense complementing defense. But I think within even each side of the ball, they're playing complementary offense and complementary defense, where within what the skill set of what Tyler Huntley could do and some of the things he can't do, I thought they made the game easy on him by setting him up with some rollouts and some 3, 4, 5 yard passing gains that set us up on 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. I want to say there was a play late in the game where they opened up a fresh set of downs, maybe even the entire drive with a nice rollout throw for 6 yards. It got us to 2nd and 4, and it just set us up for success. And then obviously just the ability to run the ball, even like the the lesser successful runs for Derrick Henry resulted in 2 or 3 yards gains. And that's such a big difference between 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 11, having that 2nd and 7. So especially given what this offense is with him at the helm. So I just thought, like, comprehensively across the board, like, they just put together a really nice game plan. And like Ravens Twitter, us included, sometimes are very quick to shit on the coaching staff when they just put together a dog shit plan. And I think they deserve a ton of kudos. And again, we don't have a ton of visibility into just how frantic the game plan build out might have been this week. This could have been Tyler Huntley's ball the entire week without us knowing. It could have been his ball for 36 hours. Who knows? But regardless, they put together a pretty brilliant game plan and executed it. And that's where the credit goes to the players too.
Yeah, it's the first complete game they have played this season, I would think, maybe at all. I mean, you could certainly, obviously the Browns game was a blowout, I know that, but they couldn't run the ball in that game, and they just said, screw it, we're just going to pass it all over the yard. They did that successfully. It was a Browns team that I think was, kind of in dire straits, as we're seeing now. And, that game, it felt a little herky-jerky at times. This one felt like, hey, we got a plan. All we have to do is go out there and execute it. And they did it. And to their credit, I mean, this is not like some slapdick team. Taylor, these are your Bears. They're surging. They're kind of the toast of the NFL the last couple of weeks. Caleb looked really good. I think we saw some of the good side of Caleb, but more of the bad side of Caleb that we've seen the last couple of years. It was to the Ravens' benefit. I think that sequence where they get into that 4th and 5, I think late in the 3rd or early 4th, and Harbaugh sends them out. It's like you're at the 39-yard line. You could try to kick like a 56-yarder or whatever it would be, or you can go for it on 4th and 5. They try to draw them off. They don't get it. Take the 5 yards, punt it. Great punt by Stout. Great job by Wallace to get down there and down the ball at the 3-yard line or whatever that was. And then bad Caleb comes out. You got him backed up in the end zone. Tough environment for him. Ravens front 7 looked really active all day. And Caleb rolls to his right, throws one. Nate Wiggins, who had been getting picked on by Rome Odunze all day, undercuts it, grabs the interception. And then, listen, another big difference. Ravens capitalized. They score a touchdown. They had gotten stopped in the red zone a couple of times or near the red zone. Had to settle for field goals, but this was the second of their 3rd touchdowns. That's another big difference, is that they were able to find the end zone today when they just couldn't sniff it in certain situations. And then when they did sniff it, you're having this bizarre 4th down play calling by Monken a couple of different times in different games this season. This time it felt like he kind of really had a bag of tricks ready to roll. And again, good time for him to do it because he's taking heat in the media. You've got anonymous sources that are allegedly players kind of talking about how he's kind of difficult to play for. It's interesting that comes out when you're in the middle of a losing streak and things aren't going well. It seems like maybe all that stuff kind of goes out the window when you're winning. Winning fixes everything. But yeah, a nice job by him. And overall, like, that's just what you needed to be doing the whole time. It's kind of a shame that they weren't, but here we are.
You think they played pinball in the locker room after the game?
Listen, now that it's gone, how could you bring it back? That turned out to be the other thing. And by the way, what are the replies like in a situation where you send out a troll tweet as an admin account for a team and you're mocking the other team in some form or fashion, where you had the Bears? By the way, a Snickers brand activation too. We can't gloss over that either. There was an advertising component baked into that. Bears troll the Ravens with their little Pop-A-Shot ping pong video. Backfires tremendously. Just let's keep that in mind, social media managers. Taylor, no offense.
No, I mean, look, you got to win the game. You got to go out and win the game. You got to defend your social media people. I mean, that's what all the players think about when they head in. You got to defend your people. It's tough. No, I think the Caleb Williams thing, I've gotten the chance to watch the Bears because they're always on here, like locally, obviously, and I think he's been good when they're able to really keep a balance offensively, as most quarterbacks are. And the Ravens kind of took them out of their balance a little bit with their ability to stop the run. Like, DeAndre Swift's a good back, and I can never pronounce the kid's last name from Rutgers, so I'm not even going to try. But Monungai, he's really solid too. And was really good at Rutgers in front of not a great offensive line. So I think that was a very good pick by them. And the Ravens did a good job, as Spenny talked about off the top, like really limiting them and putting Caleb in situations where he kind of had to sling it for them to win, and he just is not all the way there yet. Odunze is really good, and they have a really, really nice rapport. And we saw that mostly in the first half, but I think they finished like 7 for 116 or something like that. He's very good. DJ Moore's obviously solid. But yeah, this is a game the Bears, from a Bears standpoint, they needed Caleb to make the plays, and he didn't. On the defensive side for them, and JJ Watt brought this up 45 times, so I don't need to harp on it, but turnovers is what has allowed them to, kind of survive defensively all year, and they just didn't get them today. And when your backup perfect setup, when your backup quarterback, thank you. That's Jake hosting and producing all at the same time. When you have Huntley in the game and you have a backup quarterback in, you're maybe more likely to turn the ball over, and they did a good job protecting the ball and not allowing the Bears, who are down some guys defensively as well, to create turnovers. That has really been their calling card throughout the year, and papered over some clear deficiencies they have on that side of the ball. So good job by the Ravens, just not making the big mistake that would allow a team like the Bears to
hashtag the big mistake. They didn't. That is the biggest thing from today. And this game was close for so long, and they never. And Harbaugh took shit on Twitter for punting on the 4th and 5 from the 39, but it just was avoiding trademark the big mistake. Continue, Taylor.
No, that's where I was going to finish. I think that it wasn't a bad thing to play a little more conservative today. Especially considering the personnel you have in the game offensively at quarterback, and with just sort of how the Bears have found success. Like, I think you tweeted maybe before the game, spending like the Ravens were going to move the ball today. Like, the Bears have allowed everybody to move the ball,
and they had their top 3
corners.
corners.
Give them is short fields and the ability to kind of get more free possessions. And well said, a lot of injuries for them. So the Ravens just looked very competent in all facets today, which is weird to say after we've ripped them for weeks and weeks. So. Nice to see.
Speaking of the bag of tricks, too, by the way, Keaton Mitchell, families being fed. 4 carries for 43 yards, looked explosive, picked up a couple of first downs. The other one late in the game, which really helped to seal it. Great to see him get some involvement here with kind of the whispers about them looking to maybe trade him potentially. 10.8 yards per carry. That's going to get it done every time.
It is. Had here, Spence does not still think makes a difference whether we start Snoop or Rush. I know a few weeks ago you didn't think so. I did break my own greatest rule when I had those feelings, which is always, even if your starter's not mobile, like having a mobile backup quarterback just fucking makes life easier. The design run game isn't like the best with Snoop. I don't think he's like a design runner, but just being able to scramble when shit's not there and to extend plays versus not made a difference. And like I said, it was stupid of me because Huntley has been here, and in a time of, like, Brian, I think you said it, that frantic game planning, the quarterback, what they're going to do, and we have seen some stinkers from him, but like you said, Jake, like I was saying earlier today, like he could push the ball downfield, and it wasn't these floating long up. His release used to be so high above his head and just looked like he was throwing, not passing, and now it felt like he was able to rip the ball. So he improved a little bit, it looked like. And I'm an idiot because since I've been 10 years old when I'm playing Madden, it's like backup quarterback should be 85 speed. Like, it's Seneca Wallace. Put fucking Seneca Wallace in there. You can score some points and run around a little bit and create some chaos. So
I would do that with my starting quarterback, and it would infuriate whoever I was playing. Like, oh, you don't run the ball with your quarterback. Guess who was vindicated on that one?
Exactly. So that was stupid of me because, again, have a mobile backup quarterback. And honestly, at this point today in the NFL, like all of your quarterbacks should be mobile because that is where we've reached in this sport. So bad offensive line, Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is new. Huntley knows what he's doing. So yeah, they should have started Huntley. And I think the proof is in the pudding today. Did the bye week probably help some? Abso-fucking-lutely. And maybe they could have had a better plan for Rush coming out of the bye week. But either way, they scored 30 points, moved the ball. Huntley looked good. He completed all but 5 of his passes. And it's impossible for me to say anything other than they should not have started Cooper Rush. And I was wrong about that. And it would have made a difference against the Rams and other teams. They were there. I will say this, though, too. They were horrible in the goal to go and in the red zone. If it was Rush, if it was Huntley, they just couldn't figure it out. And honestly, they broke through a little bit with the first Henry touchdown. The Charlie Kohler touchdown is the Nate Wiggins pick, and the fact that they scored a touchdown instead of a field goal to me are the 2 biggest win probability jumpers. Like, those are the things that won them the game. They converted once they got the ball down there after the Nate Wiggins pick, and the Nate Wiggins pick parlayed by the decision to punt the ball and pin. And Jordan Stout has been fucking sick. And Tylan Wallace is such a fucking beast. Him and Justice Hill, those Oklahoma State boys, they will fucking play football however you want. That ball that he pinned on the 4, I mean, he tracked that like fucking Miles Straw out there. Beautiful, Brian. It was beautiful.
I'm in the 500s yelling for Wallace to catch it in the air. I'm like praying that because it's really hard to find a ball running that direction the way that those things go up there, begging for him to find it and catch it. And he did. Which honestly, I don't know if there's anybody on the roster who I would prefer to have doing that than him. I love a breaking news from a comment, by the way.
We were talking about, Brian Kelly officially out at LSU. We were talking about that one.
Wow. I mean, college football is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's quite a year. To piggyback on Spinny's point about like just pivotal moments in the game, I saw a comment come across at one point, maybe 15 minutes ago, about those first 2 defensive drives, holding them to field goals instead of touchdowns. Like Mike Green getting the sack on the 1, and then we forced another, third down stop. I just can't picture a world where if it was 10-0 and especially not 14-0, where we don't go into panic mode. I mean, who knows how that plays out, but we seem to have been in that position a bunch of times, and we don't seem to handle that situation very well with the personnel that we have today.
I tweeted very shortly after that first drive. Somebody's got to do a psychological study, because like we talk about these long clock killing drives, but you always talk about them ending in touchdowns. When you do that and it ends in a field goal, it's got to feel like kind of a kick to the dick, like a little psychological, like, oh, we just did all that for nothing. And obviously you wear out the defense and all that's great, but that happens to them twice. That's got to make them a little frustrated on the Bears offensive side.
The field goal was the last play of the first quarter, which made it 6-0 at that juncture. And I remember looking up at the corner scoreboard that just rifles through all these stats. The Bears at that point had 24 plays and 125 yards and 12 minutes and 41 seconds of possession versus the Ravens 3 plays for 8 yards and 2 minutes and 16 seconds. At that point in the game, despite only being 6-0, it was like, what are we doing here? Like there was no signs of us doing anything that ultimately the game became. So I called it in my blog a good 60 minutes of football. It was, I guess by holding them to those field goals, that makes that a good 60 minutes of football. But it was really the last 45 minutes that were the difference maker for sure.
And we got to get Brian Kelly, of course, as soon as Harbaugh is ousted, got to get Brian Kelly in the mix, start speaking in a Ziggy Zabatka season 2 of The Wire kind of,
Is there a JLC mafia? Like, is that real? Like, who backs that guy?
Like shootings everywhere. Yeah, he did tweet the Godfather thing at Ian Rappaport that one time, like 10 years ago. So he could be connected.
Keep your name out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm reeling about Brian Kelly. I mean, college football is incredible. It's incredible.
The buyout was so much.
54 million.
So
54 million. I think the governor of the state made this call. Like he tweeted this performance is not good enough for your raising ticket prices.
What a fucking
fired.
What a cynical for college football.
That's amazing though. What a state. I love LSU. I hope they hire Gruden. Come on. Somebody's got to do it.
Come on, man. I'm down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I got Garrett Nussmeier, man. What's fucking better than this?
I'm going to go out to Hooters, have a couple moon pies and some,
Go to walk-ons. Oh, my God.
Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Malik Neighbors. Are you kidding me, man?
You heard a guy named Justin Jefferson?
This guy, Burt Jones, man. I call him the Rustin Rifle.
Look, man, people give this guy Coach O a hard time, man, but Joe Burrow was taking the swagger off of Coach O. That's where he got it from, man.
Doing the hands, the pointing.
I got a fucking immaculate grid for you right here.
You ever heard of a guy named the Honey Badger, man?
You ever heard of Tyrann Mathieu? I used to call that guy the Honey Badger, man.
Jake Mellis, that's just like his fullback guy. Like he's just
5'2". That guy was 5'2", 100 pounds soaking wet, causing havoc, man. That's why they called him a honey badger, man. Those are ferocious animals.
Honey badger don't care, man.
All right, now that we got that one out.
Another team in purple house here.
Kyle Hamilton quote of the day, which I am really growing into a Kyle Hamilton verbal supporter. Kyle Hamilton, after win over the Bears, we didn't just win the Super Bowl or nothing. He's just a jock, man.
And I like that he said that, and then Harbaugh at the press conference. It's funny. I was playing golf with my brother and a few friends, and we were kind of talking about this game. This was last week, so we were kind of talking, during the bye week, and I was like, man, I can't wait until they win and we get the Harbaugh dancing video, just kind of like making fun of like how they'd be feeling themselves if they were to do this somehow. And this was when I thought Lamar was going to be back in the mix. And so they go out there and they do it, but to their credit, they were all pretty measured. And Harbaugh said, yeah, you know what? It's essentially something to the effect of like, it's one game at a time. Like, we're not going to get too big for our britches here. We got a game on Thursday. We got a hole to dig ourselves out of, basically, which is nice to see. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to take a lot for me to get all the way back on the, Harbaugh support train, whatever, this, that, or the other. I'm not like super crazy about it in the other direction or anything, but it's nice to see them get this done and all of them kind of realize that they are not in a good situation still and they have their work cut out for them. And obviously that's going to start pretty quickly here on a Thursday night turnaround. So
any given Sunday, baby.
It helps them that it's Thursday. I think it helps them that they turn right around to Thursday. No time to like be like, oh, we're back. Like, you just like, all those guys know when the clock hits 60 and you look up, you're like, we got to play Thursday. It's such a different mindset.
And they came off the bye knowing that they're about to have 2 games in 4 days. So it's like everything's already prepped, scheduled, ready to go.
Do you think there's any weight to the notion that there's kind of 2 quarterbacks to prepare for as the Dolphins in a short week? Do you think that holds even more value than it would in a full week?
What to me, it's like, what is Huntley doing that Lamar's not doing? So you prepare for Lamar, and it kind of captures what you get in Huntley.
You're just getting a diet version of it.
Yeah,
like Huntley's not as dynamic in the run game. He's not as good of a pocket passer necessarily. He's not as lethal on the run, like as a thrower. So it's like it probably
a little more vertical of an offense.
Yeah. The
probably
quick game,
spread a little more.
The quick game stuff is a little shittier with Huntley. He's not as clean of a thrower in rhythm, like underneath. We saw a couple like bullets he didn't need to fire as hard to the wrong side of like Zay Flowers had to try and like shoot his hands to reach across his body for one. I feel like we see some of those kind of erratic underneath.
Derrick Henry on the third and short.
Yeah. So I don't think it throws too much of a monkey wrench. I don't know. Was there anything you guys felt like looked like it was like, oh, this is a Tyler Huntley thing necessarily?
I just thought that the throw that you mentioned that could have been a little bit of a home run is one that maybe Lamar makes a throw, maybe not. It's not a throw that, a starting NFL quarterback is making 8 times out of 10, but maybe 6 times out of 10. And Tyler makes that throw maybe 3 times out of 10.
Yeah. He's not as dynamic on the run throwing. I think his mechanics when he's like throw ready looked night and day better than a couple years ago. And that happens, right? I mean, freaking athletic quarterback coming out of Utah and everybody cleans up their release after 5 years in the NFL. It's going to happen. But I was really impressed with just like actually being able to push the ball, and it looked in rhythm on deep balls, things like that. I mean, the DeAndre Hopkins play, and DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know what they showed. Apparently my twin shout out my twin, JJ.
He was all over this story.
Apparently he was talking about it. Someone tweeted it. JJ Watt was talking about it for like 10 minutes after, but the throw to DeAndre Hopkins, like, it's not a hard throw to make, but it just was clean and it was in rhythm. And the way that Hopkins kind of just like, I don't know, his response after he made that catch, he just kind of like loomed over and the look of relief, but like, I'm the shit as well. Like, I made the game winning play.
He was a little frustrated that he went out of bounds too. You could tell, which was really cool to see. Like, he's a guy that's going to go out there and make 1 or 2 catches a game. And they're probably going to be 2 of the biggest catches of the game if you end up winning. So that was awesome to see. I don't know. Hopkins, he's just there when you need him, everywhere you want to be.
Yeah, you can make a long list of takes that I've had that are bad, but I'll continue to be like, I just didn't think Hopkins was gonna be a big needle mover, and all he's done is make impact plays when they need him to every single fucking time.
And what's so cool about like probably you could have called it OPI, and yes, JJ was all over that. He made a special.
Is that what he was going crazy about?
He looped in.
It was OPI.
Like, he looped in Gene.
Yeah,
Gene. That's usually the Iron Eagle role is to call Gene in, but JJ.
Stuff I didn't even know.
JJ's a defensive guy, so of course if it was a receiver, the receiver's talking.
I think it could have been called that, but that's just you have to legislate that on every single DeAndre Hopkins play. He does that every single time.
Yeah.
When you do that,
that's fine.
Yeah, like that's just how he plays, and he gets away with it because he's that fucking good.
It's interesting.
Always commit OPI. Like always commit OPI.
Yeah.
You get DeAndre Hopkins
at this point it's really interesting. He's basically like Matt Stairs for the Ravens. Like he just comes into these little spots and they call his number. He's a pinch hitter.
What a comparison.
Yeah. It's not like he's out there for 50, 60 snaps a game. He's, one would have hoped when we signed him, it would be like, hey, maybe here's a guy who signs 50 or catches 50, 60 balls for 600-700 yards. But no, it's more so he's going to catch some of the most important 200-300 yards of the season. And a few touchdowns along the way, which is really fun. I mean, it's a really kind of a nice wrinkle in the offense.
Shout out to Mr. 305.
Mr. Worldwide. Shout out to all the Ravens wide receivers today. I mean, we talked about Tylan Wallace, what he did on special teams. He didn't touch the ball, but Bateman caught that ball off the carpet, blocked his dick off. Zay Flowers was just reliable overall for Huntley. Hopkins makes that play. I mean, likely had a couple nice plays underneath. Andrews, of course, managed to fumble in the most, he basically threw the ball 400 feet in the air.
He tried to drop it, but
I've never seen someone fumble so high in the air. It was like he kicked it, intentionally punted, like a good punter punted that ball out of his hands.
A lot of good.
The ball was a shotgun splatter. I was like, my jaw fell to the floor.
Yeah, he's kind of he's turned into like a modern day Three Stooge. Like there's just a physical comedy with Mark Andrews.
It's like every time Mark Andrews, you never know with Mark Andrews at this point. It's unbelievable.
I have the Barbarians at the gate here in Chicago coming to attack me for all the things I've said about the Bears. So I'm gonna get myself out of here on 4 quick points because I do have to depart. First of all, I mocked people that said that Keaton Mitchell was like not a difference maker, blah blah blah. There's clearly a difference maker aspect. He played very well today.
We've all been a part of that quietly.
The speed is very real, and he's got to be on the field. So shout out to him for
hand up by all 4 of us.
Hand up by all 4. That's a pod mea culpa. He's a different look. Maybe the numbers game prevents him from playing every week. I don't know. I'm not going to break down the roster that deep at this point, but there was some stuff there. I absolutely loved that he signaled first down 3 yards short of the marker late in the game. That was awesome. I just don't know if he didn't know where he was in the field. He also, on his first down run, definitely should have dove inbounds, ran right out of bounds, sprinted out of bounds to stop the clock. But look, he hasn't played that much. He's getting it back. He's getting it back. So shout out to Keaton. Broadcast wise, I know Jake always likes to bring this up for me. I love JJ Watt. I think he's good. I think he's good. I hopefully all these guys start out good and then they go into the cliche bombs as they do more TV. This picture was awesome. He looks massive here. I mean, he is a unit in this photo.
Yeah,
Benny, you do look like him in that. There, I mean,
that haircut.
He has 13
buff
fingers.
guys.
I initially tweeted it out because his hair just mesmerized me because he always had the Captain America.
Another finger.
Yeah, he always had it might be AI because he has too many fingers.
Is that really JJ Watt? Is that John Cena?
The hair, I was like, is he wearing Maury's wigs from Goodfellas? What is going on? I tweeted that out, and somebody's like, he kind of looks like Spenny. And I was like, oh my god.
Honestly, the John Cena hair comparison is good. Did he get the John Cena hair therapy that has just made his hair so thick? So I think he's good. Ian Eagle always is very good. So I did like the broadcast today, and Evan Washburn knows. Honestly, really good to have Evan Washburn on the game this week because he's been around the team so much. I would assume based on doing the preseason, all those things. And felt like he kind of had a good insight on the Lamar situation. So many times you go to the sideline reporters, and you get especially at the beginning of the game, and you get a regurgitated version of the storyline.
I think he is an elite sideline reporter. I think he
felt like he was almost not only am I saying this because I've read it on Twitter, but I also know this is stuff I know because I can talk to people within the team. I think he's very, very, very good.
He got a good interview out of John coming out of the locker room.
He did. And probably because there's a comfort level there.
Yeah,
there's just a comfort level there.
You don't always get that kind of comfortable John coming out of the locker room like that, especially when they're 1-5.
Yeah.
It's clear that people respect Evan Washburn, and he's not some smoke and mirrors sideline reporter that's a dodo brain, who gives a fuck. Feels like he earns trust.
For sure. And then my last 2 things are the Marlon Humphrey ripped the ball out physical play that somehow got called a catch was the physicality that I think we talked about earlier, that that is the way the Ravens defense needs to play. And shout out to Marlon, who really kind of puts himself in the news every single week for a variety of different things.
He's also hurt every game. He leaves the game at I feel like it's been 15 games in a row that he gets banged up.
He also looks awesome. And the loose white sleeves was a sweet look. I absolutely love that. All the guys should do that. And then my final point is self-serving, and only because someone texted me to bring it up. Maryland men's soccer 10-0-3 undefeated, top 5 in the country, trying to win the Big Ten title next Friday against Washington. Go Terps, go Ravens.
Go Twelman.
Sorry, Chicago. Sorry, Twelman. Sorry to Chicago. Bye, fellas.
We love you.
T.
Sayonara.
See Uncle T.
All right. Well, that's your Taylor Smyth 40 minutes a week. And I guess we can, I wouldn't say we buried the lead here, but we didn't really bring up the fact that Lamar Jackson was tracking to start in this game heading into Saturday morning. So he's practicing starting Wednesday as a limited participant. He practices Thursday, limited participant. He practices Friday, listed as a full participant. It comes out Saturday morning that he was actually a limited participant running the scout team, and that shortly after that comes out, he's not going to start this game. So very bizarre weekend here overall. Huntley gets in there. This was just a Florio, like red meat, like a bulldog to red meat. Florio's all over this. He's probably still tweeting about it. Thank you, Indigo. I love the support for the goatee. Florio probably still all over it. But yeah, strange goings on in Baltimore. Snoop Huntley kind of gets what you could look at as a spot start here, gets the win. And there's some rumblings that this is the plan. And I guess I should also say that Harbaugh said it was an honest mistake. He doesn't really have anything to do with the actual injury designations. So kind of weird. Are they going to get docked a draft pick or fined or something like that? All that's still up in the air because they violated protocol. So I don't know. Weird situation. And I think, as I was about to say, it sounds like they're kind of approaching it of the plan of starting him 2 games in 5 days wasn't really the smart move in their opinion. So I guess the idea is that he's going to start Thursday, but who the hell knows at this point?
I think they were surprised. I tweeted. I think they were surprised he didn't practice on Monday. I think they were expecting him. I think he went to Florida during the bye week, which is completely fucking fine. Grown man, do whatever the hell you want. Go refresh. Go be with family. Whatever. And I think they were like, oh, all right, he's going to be back, Monday, limited participant maybe. We'll get him full to participant later in the week.
Also with the context, and you can continue in a second, but with the context that going into the bye week, Harbaugh was like lead pipe lock, like he's going to be back, kind of is how his comments were.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, which is like, okay.
And people have made the point, which is valid, like, hey, hammies are fickle. Sure. Yeah. It's just every time he's hurt, it's not normal in any way. And I think we can look to, I love Coach Speak Index on Twitter. You can go see how often coaches are twisting what's going on and their strategy, or maybe there's just, they don't know and they don't want to appear that they don't know. And maybe they just want to keep things internal. So to me, I think, again, like, I don't think they know what he's going to do. I don't think there's like crazy open communication. I don't think that's how Lamar's ever rolled. Over time, it's like we learned that basically Lamar randomly texted Eric DaCosta amidst this saga of a contract negotiation and was like, yeah, I'll do that deal. And he was like, what?
Right after the Celtics had lost like a heartbreaker in a game 7 in the playoffs or something.
Lamar was
like,
waiting to lift his
saved my night. Yeah, you saved my night. Yeah, there's a gap that has to be closed here, communication wise. So I think you were making the point on Twitter a lot. I think I was throwing it out there. It's like people maybe want to blame him, maybe they want to blame him. It's just like it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page with these kind of things. He's been hurt now for extended periods of time 3 times. And it's like there's just always uncertainty around it. And I think more than anything, like it's that, and it's also the communication of it. Like if you're Harbaugh, probably don't go out there and be like, oh yeah, he's going to be back 100%, because A, like you're putting yourself out there for things like this to happen, and B, to the point people are making, hamstrings and soft tissue stuff is fickle. Like you just don't know. So there's just gaps that need to be closed here. If they get punished for it, they deserve it. I mean,
fine them. Who cares? Fine them $500,000, $200,000, $100,000, like 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand. Fuck it, man. What they don't care. Like, go ahead. They shouldn't lose a draft pick. I don't know. I think they mishandled it. I think you could point to they haven't messed this up yet. And was he running this? My biggest like stupid irrelevant thing, he wasn't running the scout team. There's no shot he was running the scout team.
Yeah.
Lamar's not looking at the cards, trying to explain that is ridiculous.
And there were videos of him, like there were videos from guys like Jeff Z of him like taking reps like with the other quarterbacks. It didn't look like the scout team to me. I'm not an expert on that kind of stuff, but it looked like he was participating. So I don't know. Maybe there's more to come from this.
Take a 5th rounder away.
Yeah, they got fifth rounders coming out their ass. They could spare one. Jesus Christ.
There was a point in time I was thinking about it leading up to kickoff today about, okay, if we were to just snap back and Lamar were to just suddenly be like, actually, fuck it, I'll play today. And after us changing the injury report, he's out. Now all of a sudden he's playing today. Like, what would you have given up? And we're erasing the idea that we won the game. In that moment at 11 a.m., if you were offered, hey, the Ravens would have to concede a 6th round pick to have Lamar play today as that penalty for him to play. Like, where is that line of demarcation of what you would have given up for him to play this very important game today? Because we haven't really mentioned this was fucking important game, like very important game.
Huge. I mean, yeah, and it changes the calculus of everything. And
Jackson.
Jack Settlement in the comments, Miami Jack, do not find them a draft pick. EDC will trade Linderbaum to get the 5th back. That's true. The man is just addicted.
Derrick Henry is gone. Eric's getting that 5th round pick back. What would I give up? Yeah, I would give up. I think I would have given up a 6th round pick to get Lamar.
I was like on the line of a 5th and a 4th. Like I was in that. I was at.
I think the over under is a 5.5. 5.5, like 5.5 is the over under.
I very badly wanted to play this football game. Hence,
I was genuinely definitely dejected at the idea that he wasn't playing and things like that.
I was steaming this morning.
I was not. I didn't end up tailgating. I didn't prioritize tailgating, Brian. I was like, I'm 50-50.
It totally wrecked my Sunday. Like
I caught a couple invites. Some of them a little higher price because they were lower bowl. I was like, yeah, and this was even when he was supposed to start. I was like, yeah, I think I'll pass. Like, I hope they get the win. I expect them to with Lamar. Then Brian, you and I were texting about that in the group chat, and you're like, oh, a couple opened up right next to me, like reasonably priced. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. Literally, as soon as I like closed out of the text, I go to Twitter and it comes out that he's not playing, and I just shot back. Yeah, I think I'll probably take a pass this week. So egg on my face, but yeah, the timing was funny.
Tyler Huntley's been years. I just can't stop thinking about him. Keep going.
It is funny. On the whole injury saga or what have you, first off, I want to give credit to Harbaugh for using the post-win platform to basically deflect all personal blame for it whatsoever.
I'm not involved in that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it just couldn't possibly be me. There's blame on all sides for sure. Like the fact they can't get this communication thing down after what, 8 years. What year is it? 2025, 2020. Yeah.
It's 8 years.
He's your highest paid employee
for Lamar. It's insane. It's insane. And the whole like juncture of them having the contract negotiations where like communication was obviously very poor throughout that entire process. And that hasn't been improved at this point, it would seem, from the outside looking in. And the tough part too is that if you're on the side of the fence that Lamar like just isn't communicating and is just beating to his own drum, and this is a scenario where this is the downside of that, then like, okay, sure. But the team also has fumbled throughout the years, numerous occasions, including Ricard in recent weeks, where that's just out there and they have no credibility, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's really hard to trust either side in this saga and say one side's in the right or one.
They're the boy who cried wolf. Like,
yeah, Perriman years ago. I mean, that was a fucking joke. Whatever that was.
I always like whenever people are freaking out at John about the injury stuff. I'm like, you either don't remember or you aren't old enough to remember the Perriman thing. That was the most strangely handled injury situation I've ever seen. And like when it goes to the gaps that we're talking about, it's like I think it is on both sides to figure it out. And it's just going to be in the Ravens' benefit if they find a way to sit them down and say like, hey, like we got to like hash through this and just get something, get kind of a working communication going here so we can know when to deflect, because they don't even seem to know when to deflect. And like, this is how it's going to be with Lamar. He is the most unique player in the NFL, like by a wide margin. And I joked about it last week with the Sigma Chad meme, where it's like he's, randomly showing up in episodes of Power, and he's got the immune system of a Victorian era child, and he's his own agent, and he's got his crew that he rolls with, and he hangs out at the gas station. Like he is so uniquely his own person. He doesn't care about the bullshit. He doesn't care about like the niceties. He just seems to care about football and just living a good life down in Florida when he's not here. And like, if that's the detriment, sign me up for it every time for what he gives you on the field and what he gives you off the field. He's obviously a good dude. So it's like, it's just, again, it's on both sides. I don't really know who exactly to point to here, but if I'm Eric DaCosta, I'm taking this week a little personally, and I'm taking this as like, hey, I got to figure this out here. I am the general manager of this team. I've got to sit this guy down who is my highest paid employee, makes a lot more money than me. And we just got to get this figured out.
It's like this has happened in some variety of some way with not just Lamar, but so many players where this has to have become some sort of initiative internally to figure out how to just have communication tighter in general. And
it's
easier for
it's the
easier for
franchise
one
quarterback.
side.
It's different than
He holds all the
these are all
cards. I
examples.
get it.
Kafusi, Kindle, Stanley that we got on the screen right now. All Perriman that you guys mentioned. It's not those guys. It's the $250 million quarterback, and something's off. And you can. It's just I don't know, man. There's just a disconnect, and it's to me like fixing it is one thing. I think they work themselves into the situation as is, but I think it's a microcosm of leadership and of communication. And I think it gives more insight into where they have fallen short, maybe, than anything. And with the 1-5 start, the Monken articles and the 25 players and whatever the hell, the ping pong table, all this weird stuff starts happening. And it feels like they've lost control. And when you've lost control, you have lost your job in the NFL.
Lamar is, like I said, he holds all the cards, and this is a conversation for years and years and years down the road. But obviously, for every quarterback, their day comes, and so the organization drafts another first-round quarterback. Like, how is that whole situation going to play out in 2032 or 2035 or whenever that day comes? It's going to be very clunky. It's going to be fucking awkward, and we're going to be sitting here like, what's going on? And I don't know. It's like, again, it's hopefully he plays Thursday. Hopefully he plays every week.
I mean, and again, I think we look at the Ravens because, I mean, we have devoted the most time, your own money, your own effort, our own, all of those, the passion, all of those, the algorithm is set up to consume Ravens. Think about Aaron Rodgers. Think about Ben Roethlisberger. Think about Kirk Cousins, what's going on with him over the last couple of years. Like the Vikings with JJ McCarthy right now. The Ravens are not the only one, but they have never been one of the ones until recently, it feels like. And especially with these like big name players, like again, yes, Kafusi, Perriman, Kindle, there have been the guys over the years and they're not the only ones, but they don't seem to have a hold on it. And maybe that's outside perspective and speculative. And I hear whispers, whatever, whether people want to fucking mock me or not. I don't care. I live in the city. Brian, you hear shit. Jake, you hear shit. People come to us with shit. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's not. We have to try to discern.
You're kind of like the Cerberus. You have sparrows everywhere. You get whispers.
Exactly. And some of the sparrows are fucking Donnie from Dundalk who's drunk. And some of them are like maybe a legitimate source. So we hear a lot of stuff, but I just don't find the way they've been handling themselves to be Art Modell's Ravens that he built and the Ozzie Newsome Ravens and how they conducted themselves when they were the pinnacle of like leadership, organizational structure, consistency, class. And it's the third time that they have felt like their drawers are down, caught in the bushes when Lamar's gotten hurt. And I just can hear it in their voices because Harbaugh is, Brian, you just said it, completely got rid of, deflected after a win. And the tone that he portrays, the confidence in his voice, you can hear like he's sniffing his own farts and he's liking it. But when he talks about Lamar, it's not that confidence. It's gone. It's not in his voice. It's not in their voice. The owner's quiet now. You know, we haven't heard from Lamar in a while. And some of these things don't matter. Like, they don't have to come tell us everything. I can just fucking hear in his voice that he's not sure and they don't know. And that ain't good. Simply.
It's just it's very easy for Lamar or his camp, whatever you want to call it, to quiet some of the noise with a simple statement or a simple interview or just step to the podium.
He doesn't have an agent.
Whatever.
Care about that stuff too.
So
like
it's easy for he needs to get an agent crowd to really feast on this. And like, listen, like having an agent isn't the end all be all. It's not the solution to all the problems. Obviously, look at Micah Parsons, and I don't know. I mean, that's a whole another weird situation. But it's easy to think like if he just had somebody who was a go-between to smooth things over, or at least just draw the hard line in the sand of if, and this is again hypothetical, if it's Lamar saying, "Hey, I'm just not ready to go," you've got somebody saying that, and it's communicated up front or whatever. But again, we don't know how this actually played out behind the scenes.
And again, I mean, maybe we're just, you know, as Harbaugh once said, the guy's talking at the end of the bar, but I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Whatever.
It's very exhausting.
Oh no! What I was going to say. I'm sorry. What I was going to say is, Brian, you said as fans, what would we give to have Lamar play today? Like, for all we know, maybe they are willing to pay a fine to fuck with the Bears a little bit. Why not play a little chess for $200K? What is that to them? That's nothing. Like, the fine doesn't count against the cap. Maybe they did want to mess with the Bears. They're so tight-lipped about injuries. Always. They are always weird about it. So maybe
Lamar,
it was that
Lamar on the sideline, very engaged today. Like, Lamar was into this thing today in a big time. He was looking at his wristband. You could tell he was talking to Huntley a little bit. Like, it seems like he was bought in today. So, I think I don't want to like people to, or, people can react however they want, but I personally don't want to like overblow it or anything. It just, like I keep saying, it just feels like there are some gaps that need to be bridged. And ultimately, I feel like they'll get there. Like, Brian, to your point about this being 5-7 years down the line, I think hopefully by then they'll have this figured out.
We would have thought it was after the whole contract thing. But another thing that Harbaugh, I think, just snuck in a little point about was that the fact that the doubtful designation doesn't exist anymore. Which is like I think he took a little side soapbox on the doubtful thing there where he could. So, which also says to me that he's pretty in tune on how the designations work. So, yeah.
To pretend like he doesn't know how they work is the funniest fucking bullshit bit of all time.
Yeah, it's
Mr. Psycho Control military worshiping freaking Napoleon freaking Sun Tzu doesn't know how the injury designations work. Bullshit. The Patriots shouldn't have been able to do what they did to us in that playoff game. I'm gonna go get that band out of the league. Yeah, right, John. His dad and brother are. Oh my God. That is the biggest bullshit actually of all time. The more I think about it, him trying to issue that. Amazing points, Brian.
Well, it's just funny. It's just
so funny.
It's about to be past the Bucs season in that building, and I hope nobody loses their job over it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Pay the fine, whatever. And again, I would. What would I give? What would you give for a Lamar Jackson start? I don't know, 6th round pick. Like, seriously, they don't care. So much funny stuff. But ultimately, to tie it up, like, figure it out, please. The contract is starting to matriculate. People are talking about Lamar's contract and his cap hit. And then all of a sudden he's hurt again and it's getting weird again. And it's just like, here we fucking go. And I think the madness is having to listen to it and hear about it and think about it and talk about it. And people don't want that because it's stressful and people like Lamar Jackson a lot and they love him and he's a great player. And you wish it was just sunshine and rainbows. And right now it's not. So There's some.
Don't let it put a damper. They didn't have him out there today, and they won. And hopefully,
exactly. Awesome win. This was one of the most. I mean, truly, one of the most impressive wins I can recall. Is this the best like backup quarterback win we can think of since like maybe Anthony Wright against the Seahawks 20 years ago? Like, this
certainly the most complete. Like, Huntley looked like every bit the part out there today in a way that, like I said, he really had not like. Probably ever. Weirdly, that COVID game against the Packers where you got Omicron, Spenny, I thought that was Huntley's best start, and they lost that one. So
yeah, 2-point conversion. Ryan Mallett beat the Steelers one time.
That was sick too.
Jimmy Smith, the pick 6 that got called back. Courtney Upshaw toe off sides.
Oh my God. But yeah, super impressed. And the Ravens are now 14-3 with John Harbaugh after the bye. So when they've got time to prep and get it right, they do the damn thing. Joe DeMartin is super chatting us, and he can't get over the Steelers' horrible uniforms. Go Pack, go.
I haven't peeked at them yet, but I saw the mock-ups.
Go Pack, go.
Indeed. AFC North 0 for 2 today outside of Baltimore.
Yeah. On that note, like looking at the Steelers' next 3, if you include this one, and our next couple, I mean, we could very well be tied for first place in like 2-3 weeks. Just putting that out there in the universe.
I'll see you on. The Ravens will be 6-6 when they get to the 12 game played mark. They will be 6-6. They will drop a game to someone, but 6-6, and it's anybody's ball game. So that's my take. Does Lamar play Thursday? Yes, no, only. No, man. Jake, does Lamar play Thursday?
I'm going to say yes. It feels like he was ready to go for this one. Like I said, he looked engaged out there. If you practice 3 times, then you're going to practice another, 2 times ahead of this one. I think he'll be ready to go. I think whether it was him or whether it was them, in abundance of caution in a 2 games and 4-day stretch, I think it's fine, especially when you get the win. I think he's out there, and it's in Miami. He's probably going to want to play in front of his friends and family.
Yep.
I could see that very much being his return.
Brian,
Yeah. My answer was yes. My answer was yes, and I was going to hammer home that point too. He's not going to miss a game in Miami.
I agree. I think he plays. And yeah, do you think if the Ravens didn't play on Thursday that he would have played, I guess, is another question. Do we think it was simply that?
I have no idea how to answer that question to the point. Like, if they can't communicate properly, how am I supposed to parse through it?
I'm going to say he wouldn't have played either way.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this was always going to be a sit.
I'm going to walk away. So one quick thing before we go. So next gen stats, Rome Odunze caught 7 receptions for 114 yards on 10 targets against the Ravens defense, with most of his production coming against Ravens cornerback Nate Wiggins. When matched up directly with Niggins, oh my God, that was horribly bad. He had slip up. He had 5 receptions for 78 yards on 6 targets across 14 total matchups, while Wiggins recorded an interception in the fourth quarter. He allowed 8 total receptions for a career high 99 yards. So they went back and forth a little bit. Nate got and ultimately made the game-winning, to me, pick. Like, that was the game-defining pick.
It kind of made me wonder, like, throughout the game, like, when that happened, because he was getting picked on. I noticed it, like, on the broadcast. Like, was he playing a little possum? Was he baiting him a little bit for that? I don't know. Listen, who could say? Need Ken Francis update. Yeah, that's the other thing we didn't hit on was the Ken Francis, which I missed that on my Sigma chat. But yeah, huge play there by Wiggins. And Odunze, I was getting some Brandon Marshall flashbacks. Brandon Marshall had some big games against the Ravens in a Bear uniform. That guy's starting to look like the next great Chicago receiver.
That first down he made where he got pulled out of bounds and was able to turn his foot completely north against the sideline against his momentum, and then lunge, curl, and twist. He is so good. So
broadcast was like, oh, and now we're going to have a 4th and 1. And it's like, oh, no, he threw his ass like towards the other end zone somehow and picked that up. So yeah, his body control and just kind of everything about him. I love him. I wanted the Ravens to trade up for him, and then Bears took him way earlier than he was even projected. And that's looking smart by them.
Yeah, he's sick. And yeah, it was interesting game. Really impressive win. Complimentary football. It felt like they went back to their identity, pound the rock, throw some play action over top, a little bit of stuff underneath, and able to figure out what you want to do offensively. Zone running was a huge part, a little bit of counter game, and then defensively, I mean, the jumbo nickel. Next Gen Stats also said Kyle Hamilton was in the box, not playing like nickel, but actually basically a linebacker. 60.6% of his snaps, which was his highest in a game. 61.3, pardon me. The highest in a game since week 8, 2022 against the Bucs. He also rushed the passer 10 times, recorded 2 pressures, which were both season highs, had 2 run stuffs too. So putting that big, strong, physical jock meathead around the line of scrimmage has been a revelation, and very nice to see him be able to cause some havoc. And I mean, the dude's just physical, long, strong, and down to get the friction on. He is fun to watch around the line of scrimmage. I think he's only going to continue to be more productive in that kind of overhang nickel outside linebacker role. And Jake, I know it just gets you horny. I know it just gets you horny, Jake. You love it. You should be credited for a sack if you force a grounding like that. Like, that was a sack. Like, come on. Like, give him the sack there. And then yeah, two groundings by Caleb today. One of them was maybe a little touch and go, but I could see why they called it. And yeah, no, you mean the second one where he kind of where the receiver might have been able to break. He was obviously grounding it, but like there was a receiver kind of in the area. But I'm glad they called it. I think it, grounding doesn't get called enough in my opinion. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's great to see him. I think that Gilman trade, it wasn't really ballyhooed at the time. It was weird to ship Oweh off in that sense, but he has kind of really settled things down back there to help out. Starks in on a couple of plays today, but he was kind of quiet. So I think kind of that having that third safety versatility there, especially with the loss of Washington, has been big. Hard not to feel good right now for the Ravens coming out of the bye. Breath of fresh air, Lamar stuff, injury stuff, Matabike stuff, coaching stuff, everything that's going on. How refreshing was it to – I'll even say this. Like, the most impressive thing to me about where this team is at mentally was the Bears had that unbelievable throw from Caleb Williams in the garbage time to DJ Moore, makes the one-handed catch, get all the way down to the 1. And to make that stop and have that pride in the result to me was what you think about when you think about play like a Raven, playing through the whistle, playing through the end of the game, all the things that they've sold us over our entire lives as Ravens fans. So that stop was awesome. And Jake Hummel, with his, beautiful gap teeth and his high effort and his special teams energy, being able to crash in and enable Kyle Hamilton to kind of slingshot the back down on that one that resulted in that negative play that kind of set it all up was awesome. Brent Urban bats a pass after getting really mad that a false start wasn't called. He was flipping out, going nuts. Oh my God, this false start, bats the pass, prevents a touchdown. So the pride in the details is there through the end of the game when it wasn't. In many circumstances, when you were more healthy and you got a little lazy against the Bills in ways, and you got a little lazy in your preparation against the Lions, I think, and you can say that about the Chiefs. And are those teams better than the Bears? Yeah, probably. The Bears were beat up, but it was really nice to see the pride to finish and complete and to walk away not allowing that extra touchdown to make it 30-23. No, we only let up 16 today. And that was nice, and I like that shit.
Yeah, like I said, most complete game probably all year. And, of course, it comes with Tyler Huntley as your quarterback. So how about that? How about that, Jerry? Yeah, I don't know. Anything else, Banks?
No, that's it. RG3's out here campaigning for the Honey Badger to get the job. So he's done that.
Is he coaching right now?
I don't think so. He retired like this offseason, didn't he? It was one of those like
he just retired. Yeah, like he was playing NFL football like 9 months ago.
Sure. I haven't watched the video where he actually advocates for him, but yeah.
Based on Wikipedia, I see nothing. He's not even. I mean, it would be preposterous to hire a coach with literally zero experience to be LSU of all teams next head coach. But well, geez.
Listen, that could be the Dion effect.
Go Pack, go! Go Pack, go!
All right. Well, on that note, we'll get out of here and watch Laypack, Brian's Packers against our not Steelers. By the way, you mentioned Jake Hummel, gap tooth guy. I didn't realize that. Another Jake with a gap tooth. Love to see that. Connections are just tightening between me and Jake Hummel, so that's good to see. Thank you all for hanging with us here in the live chat. Thanks for everyone listening after the fact. Spotify listeners, I promise you I'm working on it. This is just a total disaster. I got into our Spotify Creator Hub. It says processing. I'm trying to find a number to call or an email to reach out to. Not making a ton of progress, but I'm still very much trying. In the meantime, we're still on all the other platforms and on YouTube, so we appreciate your patience there as we work to get that back online. If you liked what you heard listening here on YouTube or watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot. Like all the videos, comment on all the videos, give us your thoughts. We appreciate those all very much. You can find us on social media at Exit52 Podcast across X, across Instagram, across TikTok. You can find us on X at Jake Louque. That's Louque for me. You can find Spenny at Ravens4Dummies. That is the number 4 in the middle there. Brian at Barstool Banks. The erstwhile Taylor Smyth at Taylor Smyth 10. And Eric at EDI TTI22. Appreciate y'all very much. And we'll talk very, very soon as we have another game on Thursday.
See ya.
Arrivederci.